this is definitely an update of what's been going on with me since I've really properly made a video. But hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. It's been a bit since I really posted a video on my channel, and I figured I'd do a little update while I'm changing the strings on my mandolin. But I figured just kind of give a little update of what I've been up to and pretty much my game plan for the channel. The mandolin that I have is one from a company called The Lore. It's an A-style teardrop one, and I added this pickup system on it. As you can see here, it'll take the vibrations, send them through the wire, and you could plug it into a 1/4" jack. But I don't really play it a whole lot. Something that I definitely want to get better with as an instrument. As I'm recording this, it is May 21st, so it's a Sunday. The last 3 nights I had gigs. Both this past Thursday and Saturday I played out with the originals band that I'm in, Stars Burn Red. We had very good gigs. One in Wilkes-Barre, one up in Elephant. And then Friday night I played out with the duo I'm in. So it's definitely nice to be able to play out a bit more, and that's definitely something I've been wanting to do for the last couple years now. So it's definitely nice being able to get out there. I've also been trying to get another originals project going with some of the more solo project stuff originals that I have that don't really fit the Stars Burn Red outfit. I want to be in an originals project that I also play guitar in, because other than my duo, I'm playing bass in Stars Burn Red, which isn't too bad. It gives me a incentive and practice to work on my bass skills, but I definitely want to be able to get out there more as a guitarist, which is my primary instrument. So that would definitely be nice. The thing with mandolins is the bridge. It's a floating bridge. So that means, unlike the bridge on the guitar, it's not set in place. So when you're changing the strings, you're going to have to be really cautious and make sure that you get it on, play up the fretboard, just make sure all the notes are properly intonated. Can be kind of annoying, but it's something that you get in the habit of when it comes to changing strings on these. I typically do it as 2 runs at a time, to where I'll do the 2 thickest strings and I'll take off the highest strings and then do those second. Strings I'm using are from Martin. I don't really have much of a preference for strings when it comes to the mandolin or ukulele, but guitar strings I pretty much use Diodario. So as for the channel, I know I made a post with a video for New Year's Day about getting more activity on my YouTube channel. I've done pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the amount of progress I've done, but it's kind of hard to really figure out a direction and a niche in the music space on what I want to double down on content-wise, just because there's so many different avenues in the music space that I really enjoy, and especially as a musician too, I also want to be a place to kind of showcase, like, hey, this is me, this is who I am. Like, I make music too. That there tends to be 2 different groups of people in the music space on the internet. There are the musicians like me, and pretty much a lot of the other big name YouTubers, such as like Rob Scallon. You have Amy Nolte Music, who plays piano and music lessons. You have David Bennett Piano. People like 8-Bit Music Theory that do all kinds of breakdowns on theory and stuff and lessons, which is definitely an avenue that I've considered getting into. So it tends to be kind of rough having to figure out exactly what you want to get going on your channel as a YouTuber, but I've definitely explored a few different options. I know I have a few demos on my instruments, a few demos on my pedals. I figured get all my demos going and see how that goes. When it comes to stringing the mandolin here, as you can see, use They come with loop ends, and then you have to put them on these little tabs here to hold them into place. And there's a little metal cover that goes over the top of it once it's done. So usually you have to get it on with the loop end, put it through the tuning peg, start the tune up. But that's one thing that's unique to the mandolin. It's kind of similar to a nylon string guitar where you have to tie the guitar strings at the bridge. So there's definitely that going for it. And one thing I noticed too on YouTube with the pedal demos, like I was saying, is that there's a few different styles and gear demo reviews, whether it's guitar pedals, guitars, drums. There tends to be a lot of doing a lot of talking in between with not a lot of real demonstration of what the piece of equipment does, sounds like, responds to, and pretty much how the piece of equipment operates, which makes it kind of annoying as a consumer who's interested in the piece of product. So, with a couple microphone demos and pedal demos and instrument demos that I currently have up on my channel, I definitely wanted to do it more in that style of, let's cut straight to the point. This is what I have, this is the piece of equipment, and I'm going to pretty much show you what you do with it and how it works. And spend 30 seconds tops in the video saying, okay, this is what the equipment, this is what you're going to get into, and then spend anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes on the piece of equipment, depending on how detailed of a demonstration you would need for that particular piece of product. But to me, that's ideal on demonstrations. And side note, I did get a new guitar. I'll pull it up really quick. I picked up a Gibson Les Paul Studio. I bought it used, of course. This is from the headstock. From what I gather, it's a 2007 model from the 0 and the 7 here. But bought it used. It's in really good condition. Bit of wear on it, but it's very solid. Definitely enjoy this guitar an awful lot. I bought it 2 weeks ago, so that would be, what, May 7th? I love it. I enjoy it. My first guitar was the Epiphone Les Paul that I have used in a few other videos. It feels very easy and familiar to me to play, so I definitely enjoy this guitar a lot. This is definitely an update of what's been going on with me since I've really properly made a video, but let's get back to stringing the mandolin, shall we? This is pretty much the only instrument that I'll change the strings in pairs at a time, like one by one, just because of the floating bridge, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. However, when it comes to restringing my guitars, I always take off all the old strings all at the same time and then put the new strings on. A lot of people always say, oh yeah, I know, when you restring a guitar, you take one string off, you put the new one on, take off the second string, replace the second string, rinse and repeat until you get all the strings replaced. Because they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, if you change the strings on the guitar and you take off all the strings at once, it's going to mess up the neck, it's going to cause the neck to warp. To me, I believe that's a load of nonsense. If you're taking any instrument, doesn't matter if it's a guitar, piano, mandolin, and if you take any instrument from its normal environment, for example, I'm in the United States in the Mid-Atlantic region, an instrument from an environment like this, and then you move out to the American desert out in Arizona, Nevada, where it's going to be really hot and dry, yeah, you're going to need to get your instrument reset. You know, you're going to need to let your instrument settle in and adapt to the weather because it's wood. So you need to just let the instrument kind of readjust for a little bit and then get it reset up. It's not that big of an issue, but since I've pretty much been in the same region my entire life, I don't really need to say like, oh yeah, my instruments are going to need to be completely reset up every time I change the strings. Yeah, I gotta check to make sure, okay, hey, how's my instrument holding up this done to it? Does it need that done to it? Yeah, I keep an eye on my instruments because I always believe in taking care of your stuff, making sure it's good, but having your strings out for those 10-15 minutes, if that's going to affect your guitar and cause your neck to warp, then you probably have a guitar that's very temperamental to begin with, and it's not an issue of changing the strings, but more so the quality of the wood that was used in the instrument itself. You know, that's just my personal belief and opinion on the matter. Alright, I got my last set of strings on. They would be the high E strings. So I put the little holder back on just to hold them into place now. I haven't been posting a lot, but I've definitely been picking up a bit more gigs to where, yeah, it's not as much as I would probably want, or as much as like a full-time musician, since I have a full-time job and that's pretty much what I'm doing to pay the bills. Wonderful. I'm off every Saturday and Sunday, which is beautiful. Walking in my front door every day by 3:50, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is wonderful. So that definitely gave me a lot more opportunity to be able to actually regularly go out and gig. With a duo with my friend John, who's also in the originals band Stars Burn Red, so it's nice having a real close friend and musician that you could really trust and work with. But that's a covers project in the duo. Stars Burn Red is an original hard rock band. I'll be sure to share footage or a link or a video probably in the corner up here if you want to check them out. Yeah, it would definitely be appreciated if you gave us a follow on our YouTube page or social media website of your preference. But outside of those two projects, I have a lot of my solo stuff, which I showcased here in my JoJo's Horror Show retrospective. A few of the guitar videos I have of me performing some original ideas that I came up with, and I have some songs written. I have about 10 songs written, recorded, produced, fully fleshed out. The only thing they really need is to go through post-production and the mixing and mastering stages before they're released. Get a few of them together and do a couple releases where, like, I have a group of 5 songs that are all similar in genre for this release, a couple songs that are in this genre for this release. So I definitely am getting more music planned and ready for release. By the end of the year, I know I'll definitely have some more music release, and I'll be able to get the demos out on my channel shortly for everyone to give a listen to. But beyond that, with the songs I have written, I would definitely love to get them played out and have a second project going outside of Stars Burn Red and my duo. Most of the songs that I write for with my solo projects I tend to always write vocal melodies that really fit alto singers. Yeah, like I said, it tends to get kind of hard trying to find musicians to work with, but I have no problem committing to saying, like, hey, let's get practice in once a week, every week, this day, this time. And there tends to be a whole lot of trying to find people on the same wavelength as you when it comes to music. Like, some people, they're only down to jam every so often once they get out of work on a couple tunes. Some people, they want to strictly only do their solo career as a producer. So there's a lot of different avenues, and it's definitely a lot of finding people on the same wavelength as you. But however, with everything that I talked about in today's video, as I restrung my mandolin and I showed off my new guitar, I'll probably talk to everyone in the next video. So until next time, hope you guys have a good one. Alright, bye.
Take my hand and dance with me to a broken melody. You have one chance, take it from me as the drums play out of time.